Oh, yeah, that's right. It is Madman Mondello coming at you live from the Gardendale Garage here in beautiful Alabama. I hope that you all had a great weekend. And, well, I was kind of like in between Xboxes and also taking care of Lorraine with her rotator cuff surgery and all that. She's getting better, thank God. And that was a hell of a surgery. All I got to say is anybody that has rotator cuff surgery, look forward to a lot of pain and a lot of suffering, okay? Yeah, I guess you got to go through some pain to get to the good, I guess. That's the way it works. But anyway, guys, I hope that you're all doing well. We've got one, two, three, four, five consoles here that we're going to be shipping off today. All right, and I wanted to get this video out for you guys, and that way then you can see them all and everything. So the first one that we're going to start off with is Mr. Timothy Gleason. All right, now Timothy went ahead and he did a send-in purchase, okay, with his console here. Now, Timothy, also, you sent me a drive without a shell, and you have a shell at your house. So what I'm going to do is, I didn't want to eject that. No, I went power off. Thank you. So what I'm going to do here, okay, is this hard drive is going to be shipped separately, bubble wrapped and everything, so that way then it's safe, because otherwise it'll bounce around, and you know how the post office is, and I don't want it damaging any sectors or having a head crash or anything like that. If you don't know what a head crash is, take a magnesium oxide disc and run a piece of metal over it, okay? And then you tell me how well it holds data. All right, not very well. All right, so I'm going to be shipping this console off with you, and that is going to be packaged separately, just so you know. All right, so anyway, Tim. All right, this is RGH3. We RGH3'd it and everything, and I'm going to swap over to the capture card right here. All right, we're going to fire this thing up. Now, this thing is up on a line service. Of course, you got a 1-year part and labor warranty on this crazy thing. Everything is done, soup to nuts, complete, okay, with your mod menus, college football revamped, of course, college hoops, all that kind of good stuff, okay? Their update for the Xbox is delayed. Now, they already got it out for the PC. They got it out for the PS3, but they were having conversion problems. So it isn't going to be out until next week or whatever, from what I understand. So anyway, once I know what's going on there, then what will happen is I can go ahead and then I can upload the files so that the one button updater works and updates the files to the newest one. All right, so right now I'm already up to date. All right, as you can see, we got our notifications from the server and everything. And this one here is a 2 terabyte monster. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go through this. All right, so Tim, just bear with me here. All right, and this is a fast drive too, 7,200 RPM, works pretty darn good. Let me tell you. For mechanical drive, it's really good. The SSD is still blown away, but still, I mean, for a mechanical drive, 7,200 RPM with 128 meg cache, not bad. All right, so anyway, we start off here. Xbox 360 dashboard. You got your Afro Samurai, you got Alice, Aliens, you got Army of Two, you got your Battlefield, your Bioshocks, your Borderlands, all of your Call of Duties on here out the yin yang. All right, Castlevania, Call of Res, College Hoops 2K8, of course. You know that you got a plethora of games on here, as you can see. All right, you even got Dragon Balls to play with your Raging Blast and your boss, whatever. All right, and then of course, what would it be without Family Guy? You gotta have freaking Family Guy. Stewie's my hero. All right, and then of course you got your Gears of War. You got Guitar Heroes on here. You got your total Grand Theft series here. Okay, and what I mean by that is that it's also on the original Xbox, which this thing has an emulator for, which I'm going to show you in a minute. All right, but anyway, you got all your Halos on here, Hitman, all of your Lego, Marvel, Batman, Lost Planet, all kinds of good stuff. Mass Effect trilogy, Midnight Club, your baseball, more friggin' anime, whatever, okay? And you got your basketball. You got basketball at the yin yang from NBA 10 to NBA 2K17, NBA Jam. You got NCAA Football 10 through NCAA Football 14 with college football revamped, of course. NHL 12 hockey. You got Ninja Blade, Painkiller, PGR4. I mean, it goes on and on. All your Resident Evils, okay? Your Sawtooth for the darker side of you. I know that fits me very well, very, very well. Then, of course, you got your wrestling, okay? You got your Sonic. You got Spider-Man out the yin-yang as well. The Web, the Wonder. All right? You got all kinds of crazy stuff on here. Hulk, Sims, you name it, you got it. Okay, Tomb Raider, UFC, Wolfenstein, all kinds of wrestling, any kind of wrestling that you want, it's all there. All right, so there you go. That's your Xbox 360 complement. Now, you have Xbox Live Arcade. You got a ton of Live Arcade on here, and I mean a freaking ton. It goes on and on and on. We started off with Bogeyman, and as you can see, we're still going. I haven't even got back to Bogeyman yet, or whatever the hell it is. Wallace and Gromit. He should be coming up shortly here. But this is all your XBLA. To play XBLA, you put it in bypass mode, okay, and then you can play the full versions of the game. There you go, and we're back at Bogeyman. So as you can see, you got a ton of titles on there for that. your homebrew section, where this is where your tools reside, of course. And then you have indie games on here, which were made by developers. You got Fuck 'em in the Trailer Park, pay child support twice, and then Fuck 'em in the Memories again. Okay, now, all right. You got classic games on here. Now this is what I meant. This is what I meant by the Grand Theft series. Okay, as you can see, you got Brute Force. Now some have titles, some of them have title artwork, some of them don't, but they all do work. Okay, you got Grand Theft Auto 3, you got Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I mean, so on and so forth. And then you got a bunch of NBA Phenom, basketball, you name it, driving games, all off of the original Xbox, and these all play very, very well. Just to let you know. All right. Now your emulators. All right, you got a ton of emulators on here. You got SNES 360. You got Nintendo, of course. You got Game Boy Advance, Sega, Memories. I mean MAME. Sorry, MAME. Um, PlayStation, and back to Super Nintendo, of course. Okay, so I mean, there's over 8,000 ROMs on there. You're not gonna get bored. I'll put it to you that way. Okay. Now, what we'll do is we'll bring this back to our dashboard here, and we'll fire this up. Make sure everything is right and tight with it. All right, here we go. And of course, it's up. It's online. It's live. Okay, if you press the guide button, you will see that you have X Community Beta. Over in our fifth tab are our cheats to disable A, enable A. Those are all posts that are streamed from our server. Okay, and X Community, of course. Well, when you hit that, what you'll get is you'll get a bunch of public sessions here that you'll see where they're labeled joinable. You could join them or whatever. Some of these are private, some of them are not. There's 9 of them right now, and this is a Monday morning, okay? So, I mean, last night it was rocking. There was a bunch of people on there, okay? And then, of course, you got your players. Every single one of these has their server insignia on it, the servers that are running this mod, okay? I was invited to it thanks to, oh my God, Element, okay? And, and I mean, and they let us put the API on it, and it's great. I mean, all of my users love it. They really do. So anyway, you got XB Online on there. You got the Infinity. You got our server on there, and then there's also Cypher on there. Everybody has their corresponding server, what server they're on. Okay, you can friend them, do whatever you want. Okay, but it makes it real easy to get into a match. Okay, your settings are right here. Enable features, custom matchmaking, force matchmaking. Everything is the example is right to your right. It tells you what it does. Okay. And change your online status, change your username, save the settings, so on and so forth. It works very well. It is a hell of a mod. It's really nice to be able to see that you're actually using the Microsoft matchmaking, so you can play Halo. You could do anything with a system link game, anything with the normal matchmaking. It'll all work. Okay, you can all play online together and have a blast. All right. So anyway, I just did that last night with Jax. Okay, Jax is a friend of mine. He's a really cool guy. And anyway, he asked if we could try my server. I'm like, sure. So I get him on there. He's like, this is the first server. This is the first stealth I've ever been on. I've only been on Xbox Live. So I got him into Advanced Warfare and introduced him to cheats. He's like, you bastard! You fucking blew my head off. You insta kill. I'm like, you got the same cheats I do, bro. He's like, what? So I show him the cheats tonight, and he's like, oh man. Oh, I'll have some of this. I'm I'm sure you will. So anyway, him and I had a blast last night on the damn thing, and it brought him back to a lot of memories, I mean, and myself as well. Well, I mean, I don't really get on and play much because I got to build these damn things. I don't have the time to. I would love to, but I just don't have the time to. And it's just really hard when you're one person and you've got like 35, 40 orders that you've got to fill, and you want to do them in a timely manner. So, I mean, hey, I can't afford to sit here and play a game, I mean, I got to get these things done. But anyway, listen, Timothy, thank you for your business, brother. We're shipping it off this morning, okay? You'll have, or I should say, it'll probably ship off about 1 o'clock this afternoon. You're going to have your tracking number in your email, of course, okay? Just so you know, and it's going to have a link to the startup setup video. Please watch that video. Also, another thing, guys, all right? Listen. When you're putting plugins on these things, now this is an RGH, okay, and I'm going to explain something to you. It is stupid, or should I say, all the safeties are off. If you put a plugin that's from an earlier dashboard, it is not going to work on this thing, and what can happen is it can either break the console, it winds up poking memory places that it shouldn't poke, because 17.559 is a far cry from 17.544. All right, they completely redid the entire freaking hypervisor, did all kinds of crazy stuff. So, 17.559 is a dashboard all its own. It's not just a little update. It was a very, very big update. So please be careful with what, plugins you put on there. All right, because otherwise you're going to wind up with a mess on your hands, okay? Like I said, it's only as smart as the person operating it. All right, it will sit there and it will gladly do what you tell it to do because all the safeties are off. There's no safeties whatsoever. You're running unsigned code made by developers, okay? That's not licensed by Microsoft. All RGHs run the same way. They all have the same programming and everything. The plugins is what's going to dictate how well this runs. Also, the server file is going to dictate how well that this thing runs, okay? So please be careful with what you put on there because you wind up with a mess. I had a poor guy, he put the friggin', he put, what was it, the shake on there. But the earlier version of the shake, oh my God, okay? I mean, it just, oh, it keeps rebooting, it does this. And I'm like, going like, oh my God, take that off of there. And thankfully he did and everything was fine. But you be careful with what you put on there, okay? Also, there's a couple of infections going around with XBDM. If you don't know what XBDM is, it is a network protocol for this Xbox, okay? It's in plugin 1. Now, if a server, if you log into a server, and I already had this one guy message me, and he was so pissed because the simple fact was he couldn't get on any other server but this certain server. And I said to him, I said, dude, that sounds like an infection. So, of course, I had his NAND. So I went ahead, I updated it and reflashed it and then sent it to him and he flashed it back and boom, he was back on my server. No problems. Before he couldn't even log in, he couldn't do all kinds of stuff and it would only work on this one specific server. I'm not going to name it because I'm not playing that game. All right, but I am going to tell you, be careful. All right, because XBDM, they can do a lot of things with XBDM. I promise you. There's a lot of crap in there that you can do some really horrible things to people's consoles. Not to mention open up doors to what's on their network. And perhaps, a couple of ROPs. If you don't know what that is, I'm not even going to go into it. All right, things like that. So, be careful with what you put on here. All right, because like I said, safeties are off. It's all on you. All right. So anyway. Needless to say, Timothy, thank you again for your business, brother. Greatly do appreciate it, all right? Now, we're going to say goodbye to Timothy, all right? Say goodbye to Timothy. Goodbye, Timothy. Okay, now, I'm going to take Timothy, we're going to put him over here, and then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to grab Mr. Dillon. Okay, Mr. Dillon ordered a 120 gig RGH3, all right? So, Mr. Dillon, Dillon has bought multiple consoles from me, okay? And why he stands out is because it's always Dillon, period. So, I mean, I don't know if he's eating them, if he's reselling them, whatever, but hey, it's all good. Thank you for your business, brother. I greatly do appreciate it. This one is yours, all right? So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to fire this bitch up, okay? Now, what I'm going to do here is we're going to do the Elgato. I'm going to swap on over. I did your ROL for you in pink and purple, okay? That is ultraviolet pink and purple. Like I said here, there you go. It's kind of hard to see because, I mean, it's just the lighting. But it's there, okay? Just so you know. All right? And that's ultraviolet purple. So, now, we'll swap on over the capture card right here, okay? And I didn't want to do that. I want to... Okay, let me do this here. Wait a minute. Okay, controller synced up. Good. All right, I'm already up to date. All right, and as you can see, we start off with a small compliment here. All right? So, we'll go ahead on over to Xbox 360. There's our dashboard right there. You got your Black Ops series, okay? You got your College Hoops on there, Grand Theft Auto. That's not... Wait a minute. Yeah, that's not Liberty City, excuse me. That is the actual GTA 4, the original... Well, it's actually the original GTA 4 right here, okay? So we're going to change the title artwork on that to what should be, which it should... There we go. That's what it's supposed to be, okay? You're going to change your title artwork. Also, another thing, guys. Whenever you have a problem, if you have a problem with a game that's not starting up, okay, just hit Y. Make sure that this title update is highlighted like that, okay? That's off, that's on, okay, just so you know. Now, if the title update gets corrupted, leave this off, then start the game up normally, and it will go to Xbox Live, and it will download the update for you and everything else, and then you can select it from there, okay? Needless to say, that's one way to fix a title update, all right? So, all right, anyway. Okay, you got Grand Theft Auto. Of course, you got NCAA Football 14 with college football revamped on it. And now we're back to the dashboard. All right, Xbox Live Arcade. Okay, you got some Live Arcade on there as well. Of course, you have your homebrew section where your tools reside. Then you have your emulators. You got Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, Sega, and back to Super Nintendo. Okay? Now, what we'll do here is then we'll go ahead, we'll go to Xbox 360, we'll get into the dashboard, make sure everything is right and tight. There we go. We got a good KV and it's up and it's online and everything else. And of course our guide, X Community, and of course our cheats. Disable A, enable A. Very easy. Okay? Xbox Home, bring it back. And there you have it. Dylan, listen, brother, thank you for your business, man. I really do appreciate it. We're shipping it off today. You'll have your tracking number in your email and all that kind of good stuff. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to shut Dylan down. All right, and then we're going to grab another one here. There's 3 more to go, guys. All right, Gabrielle Fredrickson. Gabrielle. I love that name, Gabrielle. Gabby. Miss Gabby. All right. Gabby, this one's yours, 320 gig, okay? RGH3. All right, slim model. I updated you from a fat to a slim on us, and you greatly appreciate that. So, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that kind of good stuff. And now I'm going to tell you what, Gabby, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to fire this bitch up. So, needless to say, we'll go ahead, swap on over to the capture card. Then what I'm going to do here, I'm going to sync this controller up here. There we go. All right. As you can see, we're booting up. And of course, we're going to get our notifications from the server. All that happy nonsense, hopefully, any day now. There it goes. She finally got a server lock. All right. And we should hit Aurora any second now. There you go. Got it good. Okay. And then we're going to get our notification from CFBR Updater. There you are. We're already up to date, and we're good. Okay, 320 gig. A little bit more here. Okay. So, start off at the dashboard. You got your Battlefields on there. You got Borderlands. You got Bulletstorm. You got all your Call of Duties on there. Out the yin yang, of course. You got your Gears of War. You got your Grand Theft Auto 5 and 4. Okay, you got Halo series, Halo Reach, Mass Effect trilogy, Minecraft, NCAA Football 14. Wait a minute. All right, there's something missing here. See, this is why I get pissed off at Aurora, because sometimes it will hide titles. Okay, now it's supposed to hide those because those are multi disc games. Let me see here. Did it? No. Okay, good. All right. Okay, everything's right and tight. Good deal. Okay, all right. Just want to make sure about that. All right. For some reason, it just looks small now. I'm like remembering. Oh yeah, it's a 320. Okay, so that's cool. So anyway, NCAA Football 14, Red Dead Redemption, Saints Row, so on and so forth. I thought I was on a 500 gig. I don't know why. All right. Then of course you have Xbox Live Arcade. All right, got a ton of Live Arcade on there. You got your homebrew section where your tools reside. And, of course, you have your classic game on there. You got one classic game on there. You got Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. All right? Then, of course, you got some indie games on there. And then, of course, you have your emulators, okay? You got NES Emulator, Game Boy Advance, Sega, MAME, Super Nintendo, and back to NES Emulator, so on and so forth, all right? Now, we'll go ahead. We'll hit the dashboard, make sure everything's right and tight. Yep, she's booted. Good. Life is good. All right? Bypass the sign-in. As you can see, it is up. It is online with a good KV. We'll go ahead, we'll hit the guide button, okay, and of course, the X Community you got, and then of course you have our cheats, okay, disable A, enable A, real simple, bring it back home, and there you have it. Gabrielle, thank you so much for your business, I greatly do appreciate it, okay, and like I said, shipping it off this afternoon. You'll have a tracking number beforehand, before it hits the post office and everything, then check on the tracking number like around 5 o'clock or whatever, and you'll see that it's moving, okay, so anyway, thank you so much for your business, I greatly do appreciate it, all right, now we're going to say goodbye to Gabrielle. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab hold of, let's see here now, wait a minute. Mr. Tyler Phelps. Tyler, me boy. My crazy friend. Okay. Here you go. 250 gig RGH3. As you can see, we'll go ahead and we're going to swap on over to the capture card. We're going to fire this Maniac thing up here. All right, we'll go ahead, we'll sync the controller. All right, and as you can see, booted. RGH3 is a wonderful thing. I love RGH3. All right, and now what's going to happen is now we're going to sync the controller up here. We're going to go ahead. We're going to get our notification from our server, letting us know it's online and live and all that other happy nonsense. And we're going to boot up into Aurora, and then I'm going to go through this thing. All right, got it. Good. Okay. And of course, now we're going to get our CFBR updater. Okay, I'm already up to date. And like I said, I enjoy doing these videos because at least you know exactly. It's running. Here it is. There it is. Done. Okay? Now, Xbox 360. Okay, start off at the dashboard. We work our way through all the Call of Duties and everything. Okay, and then of course College Hoops 2K8. You got your Gears of War, you got your Grand Theft Auto series, you got Halo, okay, Minecraft, and of course NCAA Football 14 with college football revamped, so on and so forth. Now, Xbox Live Arcade, you got a ton of Live Arcade on there as well. And then of course you got your homebrew section where your tools reside. And then we have our classic game. We got Tony Hawk's Underground for a classic game there. Indie games, you got Trailer Park King, you got Voice Changer 360. And of course you have your emulators. You got Game Boy Advance, Sega, MAME, Super Nintendo, back to Nintendo. Alright, there you go. Now, we'll go ahead, Xbox 360. We'll hit the dashboard, make sure she's right and tight. And which of course, there she goes. Life is grand. She's got a good KB and she's up and she's online. You have your X community server, of course, and then of course you have your cheats, okay? To disable A, enable A. Real easy, just highlight the one you want and disable it or enable it, one or the other. Bring that back home. There you have it. Tyler, thank you for your business, brother. I greatly do appreciate it. Shipping it off, and you'll have it in like 2 to 3 business days, okay? Remember, you have to sign for this thing too, okay? Just so you know. But thank you again, Tyler. I greatly do appreciate it, brother. I got one more to go here, guys. All right? Here we are. Okay. Mr. Andre Brown. Yes, Andre. My crazy friend. He's a nut job. I love Andre. Andre went ahead and... let me make sure I got that in there. Okay. He bought a 1 terabyte RGH3. Okay, so this one is yours, Andre. All right? Nice little innocuous little slim model sitting here. Just innocently until you turn it on. Now, we'll go ahead. We'll turn it on. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to hit the capture card. We'll sync this damn thing up. And, of course, it booted. Life is good. Any day now. Thank you very much. And, of course, now it's going to go ahead. And what's going to happen is we're going to get our notifications from the server and everything. And, Andre, you got a ton of crap on here, man. So, I'm going to go through this with you. All right? Well, anyway, hopefully if everything works out right. We'll see what happens. But, anyway, when you get this thing, Andre, remember, I'm going to be giving you a startup setup video on this thing. Please watch that video before you start this console up. It's very, very important that you do. Otherwise, you will be sitting at that Xbox 360 logo for a very long time, wondering and saying to me it didn't boot. No, it did boot. The problem is it's not finding a server because it's not on your local area network. You got to get it on there first before you can go ahead and just go off on a tangent. All right? So just to let you know. Now, Mr. Brown, let me introduce you to the Xbox 360 catalog of this thing. Now, this is a 1 terabyte drive, okay? And this one is a, this one I do believe is 7,200 RPM Seagate, okay? So, we start off here at the dashboard. We'll work our way through. You got your Battlefields on there, all your Call of Duties, of course. You know, Modern Warfare, you got your College Hoops on there, Crisis, Defiance, MMA, Fable, Fight Night Champion. You got your Gears of War series. You got Grand Theft Auto, you got Liberty City, you got Grand Theft Auto 5, you got San Andreas, and you have Grand Theft Auto 4. Yes, they have mod menus. Yes, Buffington Mod Loader works on ELF FC and also on Grand Theft Auto 4. Purge works on GTA 5, so on and so forth. You got your Halo series on here. Hitman, Kane, Lancashire, Madden, Mass Effect Trilogy, Medal of Honor, Midnight Club, and Minecraft. And you start off at the basketball series here. You got NBA 2K10. And it runs all the way to NBA Jam through to 2K17. Then, of course, you got NCAA Football 14, 10, 12, 13, and 14. You got NHL 12, PGR 4. There it goes on and on and on. Wrestling on there, test drive, driving games, fighting games, Wolfenstein. You gotta love Wolfenstein, okay? And then, of course, you have all kinds of wrestling on there as well. And then we're back at the dashboard, okay? So, Xbox Live Arcade, alright? You got a ton of Live Arcade on there, as you can see. And I mean a ton of Live Arcade on there. It goes on and on and on and on and on, as you can see. Alright, and then some. Now, Homebrew section is where your tools reside. Then, of course, you have your classic games on there. You got a bunch of classic games on there as well, okay? Some of them artwork, some of them don't. I can't help that. But there is a ton, and they all work. Everything works all the way back to Phenom. NFL Street. Boy, that was a good one. Love that game. That game was a blast, okay? So on and so forth. Okay, so there you have it. Now, indie games, okay? You got a ton of indie games on there as well. Alright, as you can see. Kind of racy. Yeah. Platformance. Performance. Okay, so on and so forth. Emulators, alright? You got a ton of emulators on there as well. This one's got Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, Sega, MAME, PlayStation. back to Super Nintendo, so on and so forth, okay? Now, we'll go ahead, Xbox 360, we'll hit the original dash right here, make sure that she gets up and running, in which she did. There you are. Bypass the sign-in, and of course you're up, you're online, you're live, our beautiful eyeball-pleasing HUD, X Community Beta, of course, and our cheats, okay? Disable A, enable A, pretty easy. Bring this back to Xbox Home. And there you have it. Andre, thank you so much for your business, man. I greatly do appreciate it. It's lots of fun talking with you and everything, too. I really do appreciate the time. And, we're going to ship it off, this afternoon. And you'll have your tracking number will come beforehand. And just check on the tracking number, like, around 5 o'clock or whatever. And you'll see that it's moving. So, anyway, guys, listen. Thank you all for your business. I greatly do appreciate it. Thank you for your support over the years. Like I said, without you guys, I would be very, very bored mondo. Okay, I don't want to be a bored mondo. So, I do appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Now, as I said, this week we got a bunch of consoles that we got to build. I'm going to be messaging the people that are next up in the queue, okay, to get these done, just to let you know when I'm going to be doing them, okay, and all that. So, just hang loose. Everything's cool, all right? And like I said, I greatly do appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for watching, okay? And I'm going to catch you all on the flip side because I got a lot of catching up to do. So, y'all take it easy and have a great day. Talk to you all later. Have a good one, guys.